Hello and welcome back to another video. My name's Sam and I sell stuff on the internet, and in today's video I'm going to tell you exactly how much profit I made on eBay in the month of May. Without further ado, let me hop to the PC and I can break down how much money we spent, how much money we made, and highlight a few key sales as well as a few fails because we like a good fail. Let's go to the computer.
So I'm on the computer, I've logged into my Fliplytics account, which has pulled all the information from eBay and is displaying it in a nice setup. Now this Fliplytics application is available on desktop as a web browser and also on mobile as a web browser, and you can pin it to your home screen as an application. It's a bit of software that myself and my business partner have been working on for a year and a half, and it's finally live. So if you want to give it a try, the link's in the description, but I'm not going to plug it any more than that. Every bit of information on here is accurate and real time. So I've set the filters to last month, apply, and it will refresh all of our data. I'm going to go through exactly how much money I made and a few of my favorite sales. So top line numbers in total, and this number includes postage. I did £12,229 worth of sales on eBay, including postage. Of that, I made £4,660.10. Now this number here takes into account all eBay fees, promoted fees, cost of postage, my value added tax that I pay, and the cost of goods of all products that not only sold, but I also purchased within the month, last month. Now, this number here, profit on sales, is the profit that I made on only the items that sold. So the £12,200, if it was just those items that sold, I would have made £6,200. Now, a number that I'm super happy with this month is my average transaction value. I've been working on that to get that £40 plus, and to hit £58.80, super happy. Obviously that's the total amount of sales divided by the total sale price. Now there's a couple of sales on here which will have artificially inflated that number, i.e. this one here, which was my biggest sale of last month. But even if you strip those out, my average was around £48, so I'm still super happy with that. My return on investment, so this is the money that I spent in order to generate the profit, was 121%. The average profit per transaction was £22.40. So every single item, every single time I hear the cha-ching, it's effectively £22.40 in my pocket. I sold 208 products over the course of last month, so it's about 50 per week, which not too bad. I would like to see that increase. I'd like to see all of these numbers increase, apart from this one, the average time to sell. The average time to sell for me is the time of which I've listed an item to when it actually sells. Ideally, I want that under 30 days, and bang, 21.8 days, which means on average, if I buy something today, in 21 days, it will sell. I listed 221 new products last month, which was disappointing. I like to average a minimum of 10 per day, and as you can see, I did not hit that. There has been a focus on content, which you would have seen. There's been a focus on the last few bits for Fliplytics. But the goal for this month going forward is to ensure that I hit that 10 average per day. I currently have 509 listings live with a total listed value of 38.8 grand. That includes multi-quantity items as well. And this number is also an important one. So this is my average time to list. So this is when I buy a product, when I actually list the product, how many days are in between. And I want to move that number down as much as possible. I had a lot of older stock that I purchased in February and March that I listed last month, which obviously increased my average time to list. But what I'm trying to do is decrease that so that within a week of me purchasing the item, it's then listed live on the shop. And if we look at the day-by-day profit graph, we had one absolute stinker where we lost £1.94 on the 25th. And then we had a £725 profit day. Ideally, we'd want all of these as average as possible to be consistent, but we take the peaks and unfortunately we have to take the troughs as well. And then my most profitable product, which I will show you in a little bit more detail, was one of the test or two of the test debugging stations that I picked up. But let me show you 10 of my favorite slash interesting sales and why I'm highlighting them to you. So this Denon receiver here, now you wouldn't have seen it on any videos, and the reason why you wouldn't have seen it on any videos is because it was purchased from an auction. I paid a whopping £120 plus the postage to get this item. I sold it for £310, which gave me £161.95 in profit. It also cost me £31.25 in fees. But that from an auction, sold within a week. It does show you that auctions aren't dead. Anyone that's looking to diversify your sourcing, definitely look at auctions. Try and look at ones that are just local to you and are collection only and aren't online. That will reduce the amount of competition near you. Next up, we've got this Technics turntable. Now this one's an interesting one because I want to talk about consignment. This I didn't pay for. I took on behalf of someone that I know, and I've gone 50-50 after all fees, VAT, postage. That's why the cost of goods and the profit is nearly the same. I just need to accurately enter that to £100 and 75 pence or whatever it is. It basically means that him and I both net £100. But there was no money up front for me. So I didn't have to outlay this. It was already tested. It was already working. I just needed to clean it up and get it out the door. So if you are struggling for stock, or you don't have enough capital to buy stock, you could look at doing consignment work for other people. Now, I would just try and focus on high-end items, because if you're only getting 50% after fees on a £20 item, that's going to net you like £7. But it's another way to diversify how you're getting your stock in. Next up, we've got Gotcha Force on the GameCube. Now, this cost me £40. Now, you may be wondering why I'm sharing this sale. Obviously, because it sold for £142.69, but it's where I got it from. I actually got this particular game from CEX, and sourcing from CEX is quite a interesting technique. So what I've done and what I continue to do is I will trade in games that are low value to sell individually on eBay, but have a reasonable trade-in value, and other electronics into CEX to get a voucher. And then using that voucher, I will buy one, either very popular quick selling games, or two, very, very high quality condition games or consoles to then sell on eBay. So this cost me £40 worth of stuff that I traded in to get a £125 voucher, which I then purchased this game for. And because of the condition, because it was complete and the disc was in very good condition, it actually went for £142.69. So it's just another way that you can think around sourcing and diversification, particularly if you pick up some electronics that you just don't really fancy dealing with and you want to trade them in, you can, and you potentially will get some decent voucher or just cash back for them. Next up, a classic. This Revitive board cost me £4 whole, and I've just got to share it with you because look at that return on investment, 2,059%. Obviously £82 profit on that one item. But if you ever see these Revitive boards, absolutely pick them up. Next up, we've got this set of bowls, which I only picked up recently. I picked up 10 bowls, £1 each, so 4 bowls here, £4, and they sold for full asking price at $99.99. And the reason that is because they are size 0. So the smaller the size, the higher price. And particularly if you see any fancy coloured ones, so like reds or greens or blues or patterns, they potentially could be £200, £300, £400. So definitely keep an eye out on bowls. Next up, this one is to highlight contacts and how important they are. So this switch dock cost me £10, but no one else would have got this item. This was on the back of a van ready for me and me only. As I walk past, my contact who knows I buy this stuff says, "Hey, I've got this. It doesn't work. I've tried testing it. Give us a tenner for it." Absolutely. Sold within 48 hours, £48.44. So that is the power of making contacts and connections, which brings me on to this multi-quantity listing as well. So this multi-quantity listing of Kindles, I picked up 100 Kindles January, February time for £500. There were about 50 of this model and 20 of them ish didn't work, which have sold for break-even price. But these ones have all sold, giving me a total profit on these items of £289.21. But again, this came from a contact. Knowing that's what I buy, found them, sourced them, and gave them to me for a good price. Now, the average cost of goods was £5.40. It's because I bought micro USBs to bundle with all of them. So all in all, despite a decent amount of these Kindles not working, I just about doubled up, and it was an easy multi-quantity listing and very, very easy post. Now you may be thinking, how do I get contacts? It's just about asking questions. If you're buying a load of stuff from someone and they're house clearance, ask if they got more. If you're buying a load of stuff from someone and they're not house clearance, ask if they've got any more. Be friendly, smile, pay up if you need to pay up to secure contacts. Absolutely. Next up, this is a product which you haven't seen yet. It will be in a video in the next week or so. I paid £15 for this Dermalite 80 scalp and body handheld lamp for psoriasis treatment. New open box. Good title. And it's sold for £153.50, giving me £101 in profit. Now, the reason why I'm highlighting this is because I have no idea what this is, and I had no idea what it was when I was in the field. I just walked past, saw the title on the Dermalite item, Googled it, and then quickly turned around to go back and ask how much it was, because I saw they were expensive. So it just shows you, always be researching, always be looking for new items, because you never know what bolo you're going to find next. Next up, a little bit of a flop, but a learning curve nonetheless. I got a pair of shoes. I actually got 3 pairs of shoes for £9 or at a car boot sale. They still sold, they still made money, but they stuck around for a while. This pair of Air Force One size 14, but the condition of them very, very yellowed. I'm dabbling with shoes, trying to learn them, trying to find out what works, what doesn't. Obviously, when they're low cost, it's low risk. Still made profit, but things to know, condition, condition, condition. Obviously, there are some fantastic YouTubers who do lots of clothes and shoes, and I'm sure that's what they will preach, but it's what I'm learning as I'm going on. And then finally, the biggest sale of the month was 2 of the Dev consoles. So I sold 1 slim and 1 fat for a total of £1,100 over to the States. These cost me £322, so 166 quid each, giving me a profit of £618.73 on this specific transaction. Absolutely incredible, over the moon with that transaction. Now, I just wanted to go back to this homepage because there are a few caveats. This total profit number represents, as I mentioned, all of the stock that I've purchased and listed and sold, and fees and VAT, but there are other costs that are not included in this. I have a warehouse which I pay rent for. I have my mobile phone which I use, which is a bill. I have fuel every single month. I have someone who helps me out on a part-time basis, so there is a salary to be paid as well. So when you're looking at, oh, I've made this much money, just bear in mind, actually, what does that mean? Yes, I've done £12,000 worth of sales, but really that's £4,600 of profit. Minus all my other costs, this total profit number is much closer to 3,300, 3,500. So there's a lot of numbers and stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people might not tell you, that you just need to understand. And if in particular you're looking at starting this as a side hustle or moving to full time, that's really what you need to consider. Know your numbers, understand the analytics behind your business, and you'll be able to make the best sourcing decisions possible for your business. Now, that is all from me. If you did enjoy this kind of numbery analytical breakdown video, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video.